You know, most people think when they move overseas that they leave their home country behind. But the truth is, if you do that, you're making a huge mistake. Because even though I've been living abroad for 10 plus years, I still technically exist in the US. And there's a very good reason for that. And that is what we're going to talk about in today's video. Stick around.
I'm tired of waiting here. Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is living overseas long term isn't just about where you are physically. It's about your financial footprint, your identity, and your backup plan. And if you cut all your ties too quickly, it can come back and bite you later. I'm going to break down exactly how I maintain my presence in my home country of the US while living overseas full-time. By the way, I'm out here at a place called the Arbor Place in Nairobi. Probably my last video. Maybe I'll have one more from Nairobi and then, back to Bangkok. But I'm really at a really cool cafe. You can kind of see it a little bit behind me here, but very green, very lush. And you can see I'm wearing a hoodie today. And that's because it's kind of chilly today. It's probably around low 60s, I would say, for the weather. First thing, and this is huge, is your address. You need to maintain, even if you don't live there, you still need one. And for most people, that's family, a trusted friend, or a virtual mailbox, which is what I use. The one I use is linked down in the description, and I've had great luck with it because your address is tied to your bank accounts, your identity, your legal paperwork. Without it, things start to break down really fast. And for me, this is one of the easiest ways to keep that illusion alive. On paper, it looks like I've never left the US. It looks like I still reside and have for the last 10 years in the US. So one more thing on the address. What I do is for a physical address, because you do need a physical address, I use my mom's address. Now, you can use any family member, but you don't ever need to receive any mail there. My mailing address is my virtual mailbox, which they do all the scanning. They can forward packages to me, forward my mail, like a debit card, things like that. Receive faxes on my behalf. I can fax from their fax. Just a lot of different things that they can do for you. And the next is banking and credit. And this is where I think a lot of expats mess up. They leave and they stop using their accounts and slowly lose their financial footprint. I still use my US accounts, keep transactions alive, and maintain my credit score. You can't believe how many expats I've talked to who have just let their credit they've just stopped paying on bills because they're like, I live overseas, what are they going to do? And that's a big mistake because a credit card could get you out of a financial situation. It could at least get you a plane ticket back home. It could get you some health care paid for. It could take care of a rent payment, food at the grocery store. So maintain your credit score because one day you may want to buy property. You don't know where you may end up in the long run. Even me, I've lived out here 10 years, but you never know. My health takes a turn for the worse or something happens overseas. I still want the ability to maybe purchase some property, also get a loan or move back. And you don't want to start from zero. Think of it like this. You're keeping 1 foot in the system. Now, guys, if you've been watching my travels, you already know I'm always moving, filming, and I keep my setup super simple. This is all the gear that I actually travel with, and it can be found on my website. This one I highly recommend. It's the Pack Safe Sling Bag, anti-theft. I use it all the time. One of my most important pieces of travel gear. Lightweight, reliable, and all my stuff usually fits in this for the day. But when you're bouncing between countries, the last thing you want is bulk. You want to travel as easily as possible. And you can find all of the travel gear that I recommend, that I personally use to travel Southeast Asia or anywhere in the world for that matter, at GioOnTheGo.net. click on my Gio Travel Essentials. You'll see all that gear that I, again, personally use and I highly recommend for living or traveling overseas. Trust me, keeping it simple makes things a whole lot easier. Back to the video. And number 3 is phone number. Now, this one is really critical. It ranks up there with the address. You got to maintain your home country phone number. For me, it was the US. Now, I use T-Mobile, but your home country phone number is tied to everything. Banking verification, apps, security codes. You don't want to tie that to a foreign phone number. You lose that and suddenly you're locked out of your life. So it's very, very important. In fact, my US phone number is a separate phone that I keep, and I just keep it at home. I don't take it out. It doesn't go out with me. And that's why I've kept the same number the entire time, and I keep it safe. So from the outside looking in, it still looks like I'm based back home. I can make phone calls to companies or people, if I have to, over Wi-Fi calling and text, and then I don't have to worry about any kind of charges. Now, you can do like Tello or Mint Mobile, and there's other ones that you can use. T-Mobile's the kind of one that all my friends had used, and so I went with that, and it works well. And number 4 is taxes and legal presence. Now, no one likes talking about this, but this does matter. Even living abroad, you still may have tax obligations, financial reporting, legal issues, and ignoring this is when people get in trouble. So instead of disappearing, you stay connected, just from a distance. And for me, my taxes are easy enough that I just file with TurboTax, and it's easily done. And number 5 is the backup plan. This might be the most important part, but life happens, things change, and if you ever need to go back quickly, you don't want to be starting from scratch. It would be a major pain. And because I've kept everything active, address, banking, identity, keeping my driver's license, my cards, my debit cards, phone number, all of that active, I can land back in the US tomorrow and nothing feels broken. I can just continue on my way. And that's freedom. So always maintain one foot in maybe Southeast Asia and your other foot in your home country, mine being the US. And number 6 is the illusion. And here's the interesting part. From the outside, my bank thinks I'm there. My credit cards think I'm there. My number is there. My address is there. So technically, it looks like I never left. But in reality, I'm living a completely different life overseas. And that's the balance. That's what you want to go for. Again, I talk to so many expats who just kind of cut all ties. They don't have a US phone number, and then they get in trouble with getting verification codes. They'll cut their US bank credit cards, and they just do everything in that country. You never know what's going to happen in that country. Some kind of natural disaster, political unrest, a war. You just have no idea. So listen, if you're thinking about moving abroad, don't burn your bridge back home. Set it up the right way, and you can live anywhere in the world without losing your foundation. And that is the real goal. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living like this. Away from us.